Hello, Al Pals. Welcome to the Big Al Presents Saturday Night Rewatch of First Blood, Sylvester Stallone's first big hit after Rocky, which I didn't know. Rocky was his big hit. He didn't have another one until First Blood came along. And also want to introduce my Saturday night co-host, Mr. Troy Pacelli, the Cleon Cleric. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me. I just want to go on record and tell everybody that I never called you a dumbass. It was just a joke.
Yeah, I like to make self-deprecating cartoons. I always have.
I saw it and I laughed so hard, but I was like, okay, that's kind of harsh though. I would never actually call him a dumbass.
I know, but it's a favorite word of mine. I've got several words that I just like to use. Dumbass, rat bastard.
The fact is, dumbass is a word that I often use.
Yeah, it's a good word. It's a good word.
I like to think of myself a lot like Red Foreman from that 70s show. That's kind of how I see myself. Calling someone a dumbass is totally in my wheelhouse, but I can't see ever calling you a dumbass.
Don't do that. It's just I could call myself a dumbass through your avatar.
Okay, that's fair. As long as everyone understands that, I don't want to, I don't mind having a bad reputation, but there's a limit even for me.
He never called me a dumbass. It's all a joke that I was trying to make the face look right, and then I said
perfect. That's why it was so funny.
It had the Yo Adrian face, and I was like, and I thought, there's my joke.
That's
Yo
awesome.
Adrian, the wrong movie, dumbass.
I mean, we say laugh out loud or LOL all the time in when we type, but I literally laughed out loud when I saw it. I covered my mouth and I'm like, oh, that's harsh, but it was so funny. So
just
a little feedback.
Just in case you guys wonder, if you hear a wince in pain, even a crying, or just like a kind of sound, that's me. Something happened today when I was getting in and out of my chair. I don't know when it happened. It was actually something that was already there. I just think I irritated it because I also irritated my shoulder. So I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm always in pain, but this is different. And I'm used to the pain I'm used to. And when I'm not used to other pain, it kind of grinds me. Full disclosure, I cried earlier. First because of the pain, and second because I was watching that movie on Hallmark Mystery Channel, the Postable one. The guys that work at the post office. You ever watch that one?
No, that one I don't know.
Love those. It's I forget exactly what I forget the title, but they solve a mystery because they work in the dead letter office, and it's a pretty cool series. And oh god, see, if I breathe it,
I am not even going to make fun of you for crying, because you know that I am not above crying.
Yeah,
when it gets sentimental.
I cry a lot, but
I figure I'm a tough guy, so I've earned the right to cry, and I don't want to hear anybody say anything about it.
Yeah, it just I just had a little like anxiety thing, feeling pain, and I just kind of
dig it.
It was like a 10-minute little thing, and if I don't breathe, like I said, if I don't breathe too hard, I'm okay. If I don't move my arm a lot, it's okay. But if I breathe in deep,
I feel great if I don't breathe and I don't move.
Yeah, if I don't breathe in too much, it's all right.
Man, oh man.
But well, I'll do my best. I literally thought earlier, I was like, man, do I really want to do this film tonight? But I'm soldiering through, just like Rambo would.
Yeah, you're a tough guy.
I want to say hi to Dark Stranger, who was in here. Never sure who's actually first anymore. I actually saw someone posting earlier. Can't remember who it was, but they liked the art. And
That was that's killer because like I said, I know Nanette was the first one, but
might have been
there were
Casey Scott. I don't know.
some good comments that came after, and unfortunately I figured, okay, I can look at them when we go live,
Yeah,
and
they disappear. It's really
they
sad.
disappeared. Yeah.
Of course, we have Nanette Pacelli with us. The song in the film is like na 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 na, something
I'm
like that.
glad you were able to pick out the melody on that because
Yeah.
it's very much a moody piece.
Well, it is. Well, because of exactly when they play it, getting you. It's a very appropriate piece. Like I said, God darn. Okay, Casey Scott in here, Mr. Matchstick. In the house, Age Boomer, Sir Torrin Clegane, Daniel Heron, howdy howdy, Melissa Harris, um, Rambo Al, my little thing. I was having a little fun with that one. Okay, I'm caught. I'm caught up. Yeah, just got 10 of us with us. Like I said, hope you leave a thumbs up for us tonight if you're enjoying what you're listening to. The reason I picked this, like I said again, one, the Rambo films are good films anyway. Well, at least the first two are. The other ones is your mileage may vary, but the first two are definitely fun, great 80s action films. And the bad guy in this first film was played by Brian Dennehy. And a few weeks ago, he passed after a very long, very, very distinguished career. This man worked in a lot of films and television shows, a lot of great roles. He played Bobby Knight. I was going through IMDb. I was like, man, that's right. He was Bobby Knight in a film. He has lots of sci-fi cred. With
I was going to say
Cocoon.
Cocoon is one that comes to mind. I would be hard pressed to think of all the films that he's been in, but he played very versatile. I mean, he was a great actor. He made a great bad guy, but he also played a very sympathetic, protagonist too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, when he Tommy Boy, he's the kind of guy you'd want as a dad.
I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, he's this big, happy, full of life, big barrel-chested man, just very intimidating looking, but also the kind that could play the big teddy bear, and that is a very, very good thing. And I've always liked him. Like I said, for really the first time I really knew him was from the Cocoon movies. He was in Fairy Tale Theater as King Neptune. He was a narration on that one.
So Fairy Tale Theater, were those the ones with Shelley Duvall?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Just so I knew what you were talking about.
Because the other was The Storyteller, the one with John Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if you remember those.
Okay, yeah.
So, like I said, just wanted to bring him up, give him his just due for a wonderful career. Oh wow, he was in Foul Play. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm going down through his IMDb page, just kind of picking out stuff. He was on MASH. He was a Kojak. Man, he did a lot. Oh, a TV movie called Ants. That's got to be worth finding to watch. Love a good TV monster movie about things that are taking over. I actually found one the other day. Oh God, what was it? I can't remember it now, but it was like one of those old, really bad, monster flicks, like Alligator. I love those. They're so fun. But like I said, tonight though, gonna have just a lot of fun watching a good, solid shoot 'em up, macho movie, high testosterone, shoot 'em up kind of film. Oh wow, we got some more people in here.
Yep, High Sound Engraver, Orville Nation.
Orville Sound Engraver. Sound Engraver, FYI, I've added you to my friends list down below. So if you want to check out her channel, it's the list to her channel is down below in my little thing down there on YouTube. Uh,
And of course, Orville Nation, a huge fan, huge friend of the show. I'm going to share his link too. Please like and subscribe to him. He's been kind enough and generous enough and forgiving enough to have me on as a co-host a couple of times. And so, if you enjoy what I do, you're going to really enjoy what he does.
Yeah, and FYI, I'm not going to be watching, like I said, as normal. Not going to be watching the YouTube. It stresses my computer out, which has survived another drop. Earlier today, my mother dropped my computer.
Oh gosh, on you twice. Again?
No, she was getting it out of my wheelchair. She just was moving it out to my little table so that I get in my wheelchair and then spend some time up. And it fell behind that little gap between the seat and the back.
Oh, sure.
And I was like, is that what is? Did I just hear what I think I heard? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay. Well, it's been through a lot. Actually, it's been running better than usual the last week since I dropped it last Saturday. When I fell asleep doing something, I forget, but it woke me up as it dropped on the floor. But everyone, just so you know, we're going to be starting at 0000. The music it's black, and the music just starts, and like a few seconds later, you see the production company and stuff go through. It literally just like starts straight out. As soon as I hit play, I'm going to hear music. So.
And real quick, make sure that you acknowledge Professor Geek because he's saying, "Al, please notice me. Please notice me." So let's make sure that we all say hi to Professor Geek. Hi, Professor.
Hi, Professor.
I asked him if he was going to join the stream with us, but
no, I think
he prefers to just come and
too big for
heckle us from the sidelines.
Yes. We are but peons in the world of Professor Geek. We are but tools to aid in his popularity. I'm just kidding around. But yeah. So yeah, hi Professor. Like I said, if you want to pop in, say hi. Saved by Troy at the last moment.
I'm always looking out for you, Prof.
Yeah. Brewer says effects would make a good rewatch.
Absolutely.
I only saw that film one time. That's with Brian Brown, right?
Yeah, and the whole shtick was his, like, in quotes, superpowers was doing special effects, and I don't remember the details, very, very fuzzy memory, but I do remember being really fired up about, movie special effects. And I used to watch all those because back then it was really popular to watch, like Star Wars behind the scenes special effects, that kind of stuff. So
because you really didn't know a lot of the secrets.
Yep.
Beyond that, and you didn't really get the special, features on the DVDs yet because they didn't have DVDs. They had video, and normally you just had the movie, and you were lucky and happy to just have the movie.
And I'm very much of that Penn Jillette kind of school of entertainment where it doesn't ruin the trick for me to know how it's done. I love to know how it's done.
Yeah, me too. Like me, I don't mind spoilers.
Exactly.
But as I was saying, when the professor pounced in, I was talking about YouTube. I'm not watching on YouTube, so I don't see the highlight.
Yeah.
So I'll do my best, but like I said, 9 times out of 10, I'm just enjoying the movie. Ow! I have to move a little bit. Ow!
And that's why I'm here, so I can fill in and I can keep an eye on the comments. And I can talk over the pain for you, and like a good co-host, and I can keep an eye on the YouTube the stream when someone gives us a shout out.
Professor said he might join us at the end when he finishes his homework. Well, we know where his mind is. He should be doing his homework right now instead of chatting with us. You're an actually good student.
Yeah.
But let's get ready to start
Yep.
The film from 1982, First Blood, the first Rambo movie, which is way different from the book. We'll talk
Yeah, it is.
a
Yep.
little bit about that.
Especially the ending.
I glanced through some of the little trivia background stuff, so I know a few things. So let's start. Oh God, let's start in. Okay, I just had to
You
take
gonna
a
be
deep
okay?
breath. It was a deep breath. And it just shot through me.
Gotcha.
Let's count down. Like I said, we'll start on 0 and 3, 2, 1, start.
Okay. And so now this music.
Mario Kassar and Andrew Vajda.
Just recently saw a video that Sound Engraver recommended about melody and how melody is kind of lacking in popular music and modern compositions today. And I hear this and I'm like, nope, that's a definite melody. It sets a mood, but there's definitely a melody there.
Richard Crenna playing Troutman.
Oh, yeah.
One of the names that was floated to play Troutman was Kirk Douglas.
That would have been good too.
Yeah, he didn't. He had some issues with the script. This actually the book came out in 1972, I believe.
Yeah.
So it took a long, and it was bought up fairly fast because it was a popular book. Because remember, that was the height of Vietnam, and things were starting to go really bad. So
Chris P had earlier on said that he said, did this take place at Christmas time? I got to be honest with you, I don't remember that element of it.
I think it takes place in October.
Okay.
I think I saw something about that. Or was it shot in October?
Oh, is this Jerry Goldsmith?
Sorry. He's right. The film was set in December 1981.
Oh, okay.
So that's when the film is set.
Okay. So are we going to start a debate over whether or not this should be a Christmas movie?
No, let's not.
Well, if I can't even remember it taking place at Christmas time, I'm going to have a real hard time supporting that one.
Yeah. Some other names that were floated to play Rambo: Chuck Norris.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't have worked. That would have been too over the top.
Chris Christopherson was at one
back
time
then, that would have been a good choice. Yeah.
James Garner played it early on. I have a list here somewhere and I cannot find it, but I will.
Aged Boomer asked if either of us read the book, and I did read the book, Aged Boomer, but it was so long ago. Very fuzzy memory.
I read like the parts of it to see some of the differences. Like it ends
very
extremely different. We'll get to that later. Some other names: Jeff Bridges, Robert De Niro wanted to play him psychotic, but he had already kind of done that. So Michael Douglas, Paul Newman, Nick Nolte, Ryan O'Neal, and John Travolta. I'm not sure how that would have worked, but
Aged Boomer, I'm sorry you took your comment away. I kind of like where you were going with that. I could almost see there being a prequel here, leading up to him getting out of the service and coming home. I mean, I'm not usually big on prequels, but this one could almost use one.
Yeah. Wolf 10 Media, no pressure. Thank you. Skipping Ishii and Kat's review of The Wicker Man. That's a good. The original Wicker Man. That's a good one. We watched that one day. Not the Cage one, but
thank you, Dark Stranger. Dark Stranger is reiterating his comment that seems to have fallen off earlier, where he said it was Stallone didn't like the film at first.
No.
Thought it would ruin him.
The film's first cut was 3 hours to 3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And he hated it. But everything, they were able to cut it to 1.5 hours. And they got this, which was really good. And they added, I think, some more viewpoints of other people. They didn't want it to be just all from Rambo's point of view. They wanted to give the bad guys kind of their due a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think they do that a little. I think they do. Yeah, they're still bloodheads.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see exactly what now. Okay, now Agent Boomer clarified what he was saying. He said that the beginning of this movie could have been seen as the end of another story. And
Yeah,
I think narratively speaking, that was the intent.
yeah, because I think he was visiting all his old
Yeah.
troop, and they're all gone.
Yeah.
They're all dead now. He's because there's the line later. He's they're all
Yeah.
gone. I'm the last one. There he is, Mr. Brian Dennehy. An intimidating figure of a man. Looks great as a sheriff.
Yeah, he does.
Great as a military man. I mean, he just has a great presence to him.
My mom actually took me to see this movie. She was a big supporter of the troops, and she really didn't like the way she had a lot of friends, people that she really cared about that served in Vietnam, and she really didn't like the way they were treated when they came home.
Yeah, well, that's one of the kind of the issues that it really brings up. When this was done, it was 82, so we were still 10 years out. Less than 10 years out from Vietnam, which was, I think, 75 was like the last pullout. Do you remember offhand?
I don't. No.
I want to say 75, but I'm not 100%. One thing I think they talked about the sheriff here is one of his things that he didn't like about Rambo was that he fought in Vietnam and he had fought in Korea.
Yeah.
But I don't think they really explore that story too well. It's at 30 miles. I mean, he wants to walk 30 miles. If I were Rambo, I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I really is sad here was like, a former military man should never treat a fellow vet this way.
Yeah.
Not only would I have taken him to a diner, I'd have bought it for him.
And thankfully, because of people like my mom and so many others who care about people that came back from Vietnam, especially, but from really every major conflict, teaching those around them, their kids and so forth. I'm always going to be that way too. We have a system where whatever you feel about the military, whatever you feel about, the situation that causes someone to go into the military, we got people that do serve and they sacrifice, and that sacrifice deserves to be honored every single time.
Yeah, Vietnam got a lot of the guys in Vietnam got a lot of grief and hate because theirs was the first televised war. On every night, cameras picking up everything.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of nasty things that happened in war. And people just got sick of seeing it.
Yeah.
And when they came back, they were not treated like the heroes they were. One, they lost, technically. I think it was a strategic withdrawal.
Yeah.
I don't think we lost it. We just said, you know what? We really don't belong here. And we're leaving. And if you keep your country, great. If not, see ya.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. And they were literally like losing it while they were getting on the last helicopter.
Yeah, this is
now I can't blame the sheriff that much either for this. It's a little, maybe a little overreaction.
Yeah, this becomes a very interesting debate. It's the whole, resisting the police, but the police I could almost point to that whole situation
Yeah.
with the little girl in the stormtrooper outfit.
Sculpture,
You know,
yeah.
it's like,
Although I don't think it's nearly that, but
well,
in this case, Rambo's being truthfully uncooperative.
because of the Second Amendment. That's why I'm carrying a knife like that.
Yeah, knife designed by what's his name? Something Lyle, I believe. Of course, it popularized the really shitty hollow handled knives that have a little compass in it,
Yeah,
which I hate.
yeah,
I truly do hate because I like a nice strong tang.
yep. With a good solid handle that you know is
Good,
reliable,
good
and
solid
let's
handle.
face it, what good is that compass? The compass itself isn't even very good. So what's the point of
Yeah.
hollowing out a handle?
Well, if you, I mean, you can get decent ones that size.
Yeah,
The compasses, but for the most part, they're yeah, those little ones they're pretty bad. But it's supposed to be a last resort, just in case, he gets
yeah,
lost in the woods and being attacked by people. That's what he needs.
yeah.
Okay, his knife was designed by Arkansas knife maker Jimmy Lyle.
Jimmy Lyle.
Yeah,
There you go. No, but I agree with you. Although I like the utilitarian concept behind the blade itself, I wasn't big on that hollow handle myself.
yeah, the hollow handles just do not work for me.
I agree with you.
I have an issue with the way those guys wear the flag.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought the flag should be waving backwards,
Right.
as if it is flying and you're going forward.
You're right. It is supposed to
Yeah.
be on most uniforms. That's true.
Yeah, and I always it's something I always notice.
But yeah, I see this whole thing about the knife, and I think of Gibbs rule number 9: never go anywhere without a knife.
Yeah. I always say, what's the best knife? What's the best knife to have in an emergency? Do you know the answer
I
to
don't
that one?
know. No.
Any knife you have.
I was just gonna say I don't really see why any knife is any
whatever
better than
knife you
have one.
as long as you got one, because
Yeah,
even the smallest little crap piece of knife, little dollar store paring knife, can really do a good job. Now, see, he's the main instigation here.
yep.
The other one's just kind of course, there's God, what's his name? New York, for NYP, was it NYPD Blue he was in?
Yeah. Oh darn it, I forget.
I can't remember his name. Hold on, let me find that. David Caruso.
David Caruso, right?
Yeah, the man who learned never leave a hit show because you think you're bigger than the show.
Right.
His career never bounced back.
And he's not answering questions. Again, Fifth Amendment rights.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Ultimately, Rambo is in the right from
every legal standpoint. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. And from a lot of ethical standpoints.
But if he had just, cooperated a little bit.
Well, and isn't that what it comes down to? If you are willing to give up your civil liberties, it would go a lot smoother for you.
And he has a lot of like I said, that post-traumatic stress.
Mm-hmm.
He's been through a lot of crap, so you kind of get why he is the way he is.
Yeah. And that's the whole statement about this whole this whole story. It's you don't know his background. When you know his
Now,
background,
right here,
yep,
I'm on Rambo's side. This is where it turns for me.
yep,
Rambo can kill this guy just fine in my book. If you don't
right.
pull that crap.
That's just abusive.
I mean, because he's used to torture. There's nothing they can throw at him that he hasn't already undergone.
Yep,
These guys are amateurs to him.
yep. But
And
what it's
he's
also
trying to
doing
keep
is it's triggering in his memory
right,
his time as a POW.
right. And he does a good job of keeping it to himself. But it's when they do the shaving thing in I think in a few minutes, that's where he loses it.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
These are the flashbacks. I think this movie did a great job of conveying the concept of the flashback.
yeah, the flashback and his trauma,
Yep.
what he has been through. He is so creepy, that older guy. I've never been regularly shaved with a straight razor.
It's like, okay, that's it. I'm done.
Yep.
And this now you start to get the idea. Someone here has to start getting the idea. Okay, we're kind of out of our element.
Yeah, we're out of our league. This guy. This guy is beyond. I forget which guy it is, but one of the cops you see throughout the rest of the movie has a Band-Aid on his nose because his nose was broke. The
Did it
actor
really get broken?
got broke in the scene.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of realism for you. So Aged Boomer asked if they were just learning about PTSD when this movie came out. We knew about PTSD for a long time, but it wasn't until about this time that they started calling it post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
Before then, it was a syndrome known as shell shock. They've been talking about that since World War I.
Yeah. I love the football moves he does.
Yeah.
He does the little juke, gets the guy off, even does a twist after he knocks the guy off. Yeah.
And this one, it's like, what's wrong with you? There's civilians out there too,
Yeah, he became a cop because he wanted to beat people up.
Yep.
He's the guy.
There's always one, right?
Yeah, he's the guy who ripped wings off flies.
Yep. Do you have any idea where this was filmed? Because this looks darn familiar to me.
I think Washington. Hope, Washington.
Hope, Washington?
Hope, Washington.
Because it looks a whole lot like North Bend, Washington. So I would imagine.
Well, the city they're in is called Hope, Washington. I don't know if it's
those mountains.
Town.
Oh, I see.
But it's Pacific Northwest.
Yep.
Now, one thing, a lot of people always underestimate police cars. Those things are made to go fast, but they're not made to go where this thing can go.
Okay, so Hope, British Columbia, Canada. So a lot of it was filmed in Canada.
Okay,
So it's just over the border from Washington. So that's why it looks so similar.
I wonder if that's the stunt that had the accident. They one stuntman broke his back doing a stunt where he hits a ramp too hard and flies too far and hits too hard. But
Oh,
they cut it out of the film because it looked too unrealistic. I mean, he really jumped it, but it got hurt really bad.
yeah. Well, and if he got hurt that bad, that does kind of tell you, yeah, that was probably pushing it a bit hard, a bit far.
I love the sound of a bike like that revved up.
In Mansfield, Ohio, when I used to stay with my grandmother, they used to have a place where they would do off-road biking like that, so I could hear them at night.
Melissa Harris is saying her grandfather on her mom's side was a landmine scout and his best friend died in World War II saving a bus full of people.
Yep.
God bless him. And her ex-husband served in the Army. God bless him too for his service. If you serve this country, I once had a political platform. Anybody who's ever served in the military for, I'd say at least a year, should never have to worry about healthcare.
Yeah.
I believe that should be automatic on the government for their service.
And yet when you look at the way they handle the VA, that's what I point to when I say that's how they would handle nationalized medicine. And that's what people want. You don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, there are ways to do it. They just
don't. Yeah.
They just don't want to do it all out. They want to nickel and dime it, and that's not the way to do it.
Sound Engraver says that she lived in University Place near Tacoma. Probably looks very similar, or probably looks very familiar to me. Yeah. That country, doesn't matter what side of the border you're on, it looks very, very much the same. And cities, the little towns are all set up the same way.
Scavenging.
Yep. And this is the survival mentality. This is something I learned in the Scouts. It's what is available to you, what could you use, how could you use it?
Yeah, that rope he's got, that is some helpful stuff.
Yep.
If you ever go on YouTube, you type in like a survival pack under however much.
Yep.
Like knife, matches, all the knife, fire, food, and a cover, a place to stay.
Yep.
Now, interesting story about that tarp he was just cutting up.
Uh-huh.
That literally was a rotten tarp they found at that site.
Yep.
And Stallone owns it to this very day.
Oh, does he?
Yes, he still has that piece of thing he cut to give himself a outerwear. That's the guy whose nose got broke.
And just to give my personal story, you guys were talking about PTSD and whatnot. Like I said, I had a great uncle who served in World War II. He was a prisoner of war in Okinawa. And we don't, to this day, he's passed now. I don't know most of what he saw and what he did. The only person he really talked to was my grandmother, and even he wouldn't tell a lot of it.
I would love to go back, and I only had one uncle that I know was in the military, served in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything beyond that. I don't know what rank he was or what he did or anything like that.
But my family would say, he was known to, if he'd be walking down the street and a truck would backfire, he'd hit the ground.
Yeah.
And he'd play it off like he was joking around, but he was not joking,
And I'm thinking, yes, he is checking his compass.
Yeah.
Really, what good is that going to do you if you don't know, where you're going? You know where north is, but
if nothing else, it does keep him oriented. Where am I in relationship to where I came into this forest, you
And
know,
what direction am I heading?
yeah, and where am I in relationship to where they're coming from. You just keeping your bearings.
See, he's smart.
Yeah, exactly. There was three of us, and they were on their home turf, and he
Yeah.
went through us like we were nothing. You know, he knows, even though he didn't say it. This is his turf. We're in trouble.
Beautiful scenery, bad place to be stuck.
Yeah, and he knows it.
Yeah.
This is not an ideal situation. Yeah, okay. This is literally between a rock and a hard place. A
Mhm.
sheer rock and some hard asses. Oh, hey, Evelyn.
Hi,
Evelyn,
Evelyn.
you've seen this movie before, right? First Blood. I'd be surprised if you hadn't at least seen it once.
Now, would that be natural, or does that look like it was once part of a quarry?
Oh, that could very well have been natural the way that river was going through there.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, it's very flat. You see how it looks like it's blocked out.
Yeah. Wolf 10 Media is asking if the Green Berets still exist. Well, the Green Berets are just another name for the US Army Special Forces.
Yeah.
They must still exist. Yeah, I'm sure the Army still has special forces. So yeah. Whether or not they still wear a green beret, I don't know.
I know there are Rangers, SEALs. There's a couple. I forget some of the other like special force.
SOCOM.
Yeah, I don't know if the green. I didn't think about that. Do Green Berets still exist? I hope so because it's really cool.
This is the same guy just taking pot shots again. Again, he just wants to be able to shoot. That's just,
That's when you tilt it and make the guy fall out.
Yeah.
Oops, there was an updraft.
Well, no, it's that if nothing else, when they get back, I'd just make a formal complaint. He threatened me.
Yeah.
He literally threatened to kill me. There's no excuse for that.
He busted up that other eye because that is not the right way to shoot. That with that eye like that.
Yep. And you see that
he looks, using his left.
He looks and evaluates. He goes, that guy has a clear beat on me. He's going to hit me. He's going to shoot me. I'm going to fall one way or the other. Better for me to choose how I fall and not have a bullet in me.
Right. Yeah. I'm going down unshot. I remember when I was first watching this because I was, still relatively young, 17-ish.
Yeah.
And seeing that arm bleeding like that, I was like, ew. But then, of course, the scene that comes later.
Yeah.
Really got me.
What I liked about this, and I still hold this up in this movie compared to so many other action films, the realism of this. Yeah. In more modern action films, they would have, survived that fall without an injury. This
and landed on their feet.
Yeah. he ended up seriously injured. And you're looking at that going, yeah, there's still an element of luck there that he actually survived it all.
There goes the tilt.
Yep. Yep. Not my fault.
Yep.
The guy was shooting at me. And talk about, it's not like he was shooting back. He threw a rock, for crying out loud,
Daniel Heron saying Green Berets, Night Stalkers, Rangers, and Delta Force are all Army.
Yep.
Yeah, the reason I know about the Rangers is because on Bones, Booth was a Ranger.
Oh, Rangers, yeah, that's right. He was.
Rangers lead the way.
And then didn't David Boreanaz go on to another show where he plays a Ranger?
No, now he's a Navy SEAL.
Oh, now he's a Navy SEAL. Okay, yeah.
That's the man that's always going to have a haircut, military haircut. The man wanted a lunch. That's all, Sheriff.
Yeah.
The man wanted something to eat.
Yep.
And now look what you have wrought.
Now, call me weird, but
you're weird.
Oh, no, I know that, but
I know,
hold off and see if what I'm about to say doesn't sound weird to you. So I know that from the second movie, we kind of get the impression of what happens between movies with him, and time served and so forth. But I would like to see the in between part where he goes to court, and what that case looks like.
Yeah, that wouldn't be much of a action film though. Maybe a good drama.
Yeah, that would be more of a drama. But
you know the outcome.
And you do know the outcome. But I'm the type that is into those legal details,
Right. Yeah.
I've had people say that I missed my calling by not going into law. Well, that's not going to happen either. And now they're firing on an unarmed man,
Yep.
I mean, he clearly had his hands up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they've been nothing but since that the mustache cop who's dead now. Once they hit him in the leg like that,
yep,
it's all that was it. They don't have a case anymore. That's the guy who's gotten his nose broken in the fight scene.
Yeah, Nanette made a point that I was actually kind of thinking too. What is the pilot going to say? I mean, and that's what led me down the course of how would that court case go. His testimony is going to be, look, first, this guy threatens me. Second, he threw a rock. Okay. Yeah. Which made me lurch and caused him to fall out. It's not like he actually killed the guy,
Right. Mr. Matchstick wants a timestamp. I'm at 33:10, 11, 12.
And I'm literally to the second, even with Al.
Sweet.
Again, it's like, now that's the funny thing. This guy was the one saying, "Oh, come on," earlier about, he went through three of us, no problem. And now he's like, "Oh, Green Beret. Okay. Yeah. I've heard about them."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the relevance of your friendship and how long ago it was doesn't really matter. He was still a dumbass.
Yeah. He was a dumbass, and he got,
and what he deserved. Wolf 10 Media says to protect and serve, huh? Yeah. See, and that's why in this modern era where they have cops carrying almost standard wearing body cameras, You know what? At this point, it protects them as much as anyone else because you know what? Civilians now all have cameras too. And although I'm not real big on things like surveillance, when you're in the public sphere, it's kind of a self-defense to be able to have a picture of what's going on.
Yeah. If you got, like I said, we just got that situation of, it wasn't, it wasn't a cop, but, but if they're carrying those personal POV cameras,
yeah,
you definitely see what they saw, what they had to deal with. I love if anybody's heard, you watch The Rookie?
Yep. Every day. Well, every week. Yeah.
Yeah. Great show. I've only seen a few here and there. I wish I had watched the whole thing, but I do love their use of their camera work in that.
Yep.
Because it really does give you an interesting viewpoint.
And I love the times where they use that camera footage, in the meeting to make fun of the rookies. I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not, but I have to imagine they probably do that.
Mm-hmm. Everybody run. John Rambo's got a gun.
Yeah. Yeah, but the way you guys are firing off, how do you know you didn't shoot him?
You do feel sad for the dog.
And you kind of have to because of everyone here, the dog is the innocent one. He's just doing his job.
Right.
What comes naturally to him.
Yeah.
If anything, he's kind of like Rambo, just doing what comes naturally.
Mm-hmm. Running on instinct at this point. We got that screech in the background. That's a very ominous screech.
Yeah. Well, there's hawks and eagles in those woods. So
yes, this is what we call social distancing police style, 50 feet apart.
Yeah.
So that you can't see anybody while he kills your men.
Now I get mixed emotions when they talk about using a tourniquet in a first aid situation like that, because I've heard it both ways, and luckily I've never had to decide whether or not to use one.
Liz Harrison, her father, and Elvis served at the same army base.
In Germany? Or you mean here in the States, Melissa?
Why is the chat so silent? We're some Rambo fans here or what? Well, this is a very quiet, tense action scene.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean,
there isn't a lot of dialogue, but when there is, it's like, wait, stop.
It's almost like one of those things when you're watching it, you're afraid to make any noise or they're going to shoot you too.
Right, exactly.
I love a film like that gets you so involved in it. And while we have some silent moments, just a little self-promotion. I posted a new review today on Big Al's Review-O-Rama. If anybody wants to check that out, it's of the Amazon series Upload. Just a nice little quick review.
You've been talking about that, so it was well
I enjoyed it
for you to do that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There's a few social preachy moments about the haves and the have-nots, and but it's got some funny comedy dealing with the afterlife and things that happen in a computer program when you're a part of it. Ouch.
Well, as long as you're doing some self-promoting, I'm going to do some too. I had done a video on the Last Blood movie, the most the last installment of this series.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and share my review if you
Which
guys want to go check that
which
out.
is which is free on Amazon, by the way, now.
Yep, Nanette saw that when she was looking at this one. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. I never saw the third one or the fourth one.
I have all of them except the last one, and I'm just kind of waiting for the price to come down on the DVD for the last one.
Yeah. I'm not a big like need the DVD kind of guy. I do like having a copy of the movie, even if
Mhm.
it's a little grainy. Oh,
Yeah.
I finally got Grizzly, by the way.
Oh, did you? Good.
I found it, and it was free on Tubi, and I found a way to get something off of Tubi. Still need the Quiet Man. That is Quiet Man, Excalibur right now are my two biggest one to get.
Excalibur isn't available easily?
Not on the high seas.
Really? I'm
Nope.
surprised.
Under a weird different language it is, but
Oh, gotcha.
cannot find the
And it's
American.
funny you say that because I was having the hardest time with the last couple Clone War episodes. You got one in French,
Yeah,
one that was subtitled, but in a yet a third language. I'm like, okay, this is driving me nuts.
yeah. One of the Alien copies I got, the first one we watched a few weeks
Yeah.
ago. It's the American version, but it has, I think, Czechoslovakian subtitles.
Now there's another example. I see it drives me nuts. Yeah, okay, I'll chalk it up to these guys are dumb yokels and don't know any better. But if
Yeah.
you're in law enforcement, you know basic first aid, and basic first aid is you don't pull those implements out of the body. You leave them where they are, and you bandage it that way.
It's
Yeah.
That's a man moment.
Yeah, it is.
Testosterone. I literally feel the testosterone dumping into my system.
And here's the problem here. At this point, he can't let it go. No, I mean, at this point, yeah, I do have to bring this guy in. But this is also a story that could not happen this way in the modern day. Like I was talking about with all the cameras and all that kind of stuff. This would be a very, very different situation. And then there would be all the talk about how is this going to look in the media? How is this going to look on social media? You'd have a mayor and other politicians getting involved much sooner.
Yeah, and right now, like I said, he's out of men. Yep. So he has to call in other people.
Yep.
And he calls in the guys he should have called in the first place once he realized who he had.
Yeah. And I do believe that this movie did its job. I do think that it changed the way not only civilians, but the police force look at, veterans.
Yeah.
One of the first things they do is they ID them. They get their background. They go, okay, sometimes even with a little bit more compassion, I do feel like this is an over-the-top telling as a cautionary tale so it doesn't happen, in real life.
Okay, my first true fashion comment, I love the jacket the sheriff's got on right now.
I do too. I love those. Oh, have you ever worn one of those?
No.
If you're out in the woods, that's what you want to have. Especially at this time of year. Oh gosh, they're nice and warm. It's a single layer, so you can take it off easily.
Mm-hmm.
It's moisture resistant.
Bull crap.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, again, that's the way the media is. They make stuff up when they don't know.
They try to make the police. Well, back then they tried to make the police the good guys. Now, not so much.
Okay, Wolf 10
Sometimes,
Media, you now I have to make the disclaimer, I am not I should not be your source for first aid information, and I am not providing any medical attention when necessary. But yeah, I have studied first aid for a lot of years, and unfortunately had to use it in life and death circumstances. So I do have some experience.
I will say, if you have a cut or a boo boo, Neosporin is really good.
Yeah, it really is an antibiotic. I mean, it
Yeah,
certainly
it's my
doesn't
go.
hurt anything. Yeah.
He looks like an Army colonel too.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, our county has a connection with him. They filmed a Pilgrim movie a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they filmed it down here in our county, and Richard Crenna was part of it.
Mr. Matchstick says that there's a character in Warhammer 4000 that's based on Rambo.
I love
That
that.
makes sense.
I didn't come to rescue. I didn't come to rescue Rambo. I came to rescue you.
Yeah, exactly. And by this point, he should be humbled enough to know, yeah, we kind of need some help here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and what he's telling him here is stuff that he has already seen evidence of. This should not require, to eat things that would make a billy goat puke.
Yeah.
That's a great line. I'll tell you what, Wolf 10 Media, I have had thoughts about, upping my training again and then, going into teaching. But
Now, just imagine the feast
mm-hmm.
he's going to have here.
You know what? Those wild boar are some good eating.
Yeah, just too bad you can't get rid of some of that gamey stuff. But
if you know how to cook it right, it's not so bad. And
yeah.
And I gotta say, admittedly, I haven't had a lot of experience with butchering. I have done hunting, but I was never very good at it.
Yeah.
The fact is, if you do find yourself in a survival situation, you do get good at it pretty quick.
I was more of I grew up with in a waterman family. My grandfather was a waterman, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of cousins of mine work on the water. During different seasons, oysters, crabs, trout. Mm. Yeah, and they're going to be sending in like the weekend warrior guys,
right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. He himself said, we're just a small hick town, but we're here to do our job. Yeah, but you're doing your job against someone who is not a hick, who is
right.
an experienced soldier. And you've already seen how well you've been able to handle your job. Wolf 10 Media makes a reference to the rat burger from Demolition Man. And I never really thought about it, but it's true. I mean, this would be the same kind of thing. He would have no problem butchering and eating a rat if he needed to.
Oh yeah. But like I said, he found a relative feast here.
Yep.
And that pig, that is some that'll do him up well. Protein. That is a cool knife if it had like a full a full tank.
Nanette actually got me a knife that has that kind of a blade, but a full solid handle.
Yeah. I usually
It,
don't like fancy knives. I like function over
yep.
fancy.
And this one really is functional.
Yeah.
In fact, the one thing that it does have to make it a little bit more useful, on the very pommel, there's a point for breaking a window.
Yeah. There are a lot of little tactical knives,
Mm-hmm.
little, like flippers and stuff.
Yep.
They come with that windshield breaker.
Because it doesn't take anything away from the knife, and it's something
Right.
extra useful.
That, and they have the little blade that can cut your um the seatbelt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's the same concept that they have for some letter openers. That little slice.
exactly. Sir Torrin Clegane, yeah, Al actually mentioned that at the beginning. Colonel Trotman was originally going to be played by Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas had some problems with the script, understandably. See, Wolf 10 Media, I don't know how realistic this portrayal of these police in this town are back in the day, but it was a common trope back in the 70s and 80s. And that's why when Twin Peaks came out, it was so refreshing
Mm-hmm.
when the FBI comes in and says, look, sometimes we have problems with local police giving up authority. And the sheriff is like, look, I am grateful for your help because we are out of our depth. And as far as I'm happy to do whatever you tell me to do. You see that kind of humility, it's very admirable.
I actually used the guy who was visiting at the beginning that died.
Yeah.
Was named Delmar,
Mhm.
and I once used that name in a superhero RPG.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played a character named Delmar P. Fester. He was a local good old boy, hick redneck kind of guy,
Uh-huh.
who got irradiated and could grow 56 feet.
Oh, wow.
And my code name was Monolith.
Monolith. Kind of your version of Giant Man.
Yeah, pretty much. And I had no like in between. I was either 6 foot or 56.
Yeah. You're not a civilian.
Yep, that's the reason for the title. They drew first blood.
Timestamp 53 minutes, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we're at
53.
about 53, coming up on 53 and a half.
Yeah, 53 and a half just now.
Yeah, good luck to you on that one.
He knows it's going to be a slaughter.
Yup.
I think in an early version, of the script, or they might be, I don't even know if they filmed or not. He was supposed to see a psychiatrist at one point.
Yeah.
There was a scene with a therapist. I forget who played the therapist or was going to play the therapist. They say Samuel Troutman was named after Uncle Sam, as an illusion that Uncle Sam created John Rambo. Yeah, at one point they say Chris Christopherson for Rambo, Gene Hackman for Sheriff,
Oh,
and
I can see that too. Yeah.
Lee Marvin for Colonel Troutman.
Oh, that is probably the best casting I could imagine.
Yeah.
Wow. God, Lee Marvin, that would have been excellent.
Yeah, it was actually offered to him. He didn't do it because he didn't want to play a colonel.
Interesting.
He was an actual soldier, so I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with his own
personal experience with
personal experience.
Yeah. No shooting, and they're just blowing off their ammo.
Sidney Pollack considered doing a version of the film in '74 with Steve McQueen as Rambo and Burt Lancaster as the sheriff.
I gotta wonder what that would have been like. I wonder if they'd have watered it down a little bit, or if it had been,
I always find it very interesting to hear about alternate possibilities.
Yeah.
George Miller was attached at one time.
What's funny is these same guys that are saying I'm not going to go in there actually have the situation. He even just said, I only do this part time. I'm not looking to get killed, but he's got a good evaluation of the circumstance. He's probably just waiting in there for us. That's better tactical thinking than any of the rest of them.
Now listen to these alternate castings for Colonel Troutman. Jackie Mason.
Oh.
Milton Berle.
What?
And Charles Nelson Riley. But
no way.
Stallone protested vehemently.
I should imagine.
And they got Krenna. Thank God. So thank God a more logical minds won out.
Oh my gosh, seriously? A law? I mean, what the heck? And right, start a forest fire too. Aged Boomer, we still use that term, weekend warriors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, National Reserve. Is that what they're?
Yeah,
that's really called. And a friend of mine that was in the Navy Reserve. In fact, today's his birthday. My friend John. I doubt he's listening, but these bunch of dumb. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
my favorite word.
Wolf 10 Media, Nanette, this isn't really Nanette's kind of thing. That's why she opted out of the co-hosting tonight.
Now they have the scene of him in this cave.
Yeah.
I think in the book it was filled with bats, and here he has rats. But also, Stallone is severely claustrophobic,
Oh, wow.
so he did not enjoy this part of the film.
I would imagine not.
I was reading well, not reading, but watching on YouTube a story about a guy who got stuck in a cave upside down, and they couldn't get him out, and they had to leave him there, and he died.
Mm.
Oh my God, he was like upside down, and that is like one of my fears.
Yeah.
Not that I'm claustrophobic, but like being upside down, helpless, and being just stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you're lucky he didn't kill all of you. Well, of course, there's not going to be any oil in those.
Well, you never know. I mean, yeah, you got to check.
Well, yeah, I suppose you're right. You don't know if someone's been using this,
Yeah,
recently.
and if it had been full, then it still might be some viable
Yeah.
oil in there. Okay, he knows the guy's still alive. He's like, you're not gonna kill Rambo that easy.
Yeah.
Every time I see the Northwest like that, I think of Stargate.
See, every time I see the Northwest like that, I think of Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Stargate, the original Stargate movie, that's one we need to put on our upcoming list.
Yeah.
It's a good film. Yeah, I was thinking about the upcoming films, for everybody that wants to know. Next week, we're doing Charade, correct?
Yeah, I should have pulled up the calendar. I didn't think to do that.
And that's going to be on
the Professor's channel. No. I'm sorry, Sound Engraver's channel.
Sound Engraver's channel. So yes, Sound Engraver is going to be hosting a rewatch next week.
Yep.
Followed by meteorologist Katie, who is going to do Twister.
Yep.
And then the professor is going to do Maltese Falcon. So we know that there's 3 rewatches, folks. So you got time to look them up.
And they're all on other people's channels.
And I will say I did have a little bit of I had to talk to you about that too.
If we're going to have guests, we got to get them when we can get them.
I know, but I just said, don't give away my night before you at least ask me, so I know. I would have said yes. I just wanted to know ahead of time. because I like meteorologist Katie. She's fun.
She really is.
If you follow her on Twitter or on Facebook, she's a actual meteorologist and does some great weather forecasts for fantasy sci-fi worlds.
Yeah, her channel is called So Many Fandoms. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link to her channel.
On YouTube, her YouTube
Yep.
channel, So Many Fandoms. But she's an actual meteorologist in Iowa.
Yep. In fact, I'm following her on Facebook, even though I have no need to know the weather in Sioux City, Iowa.
I follow her too because she puts funny stuff on there sometimes.
And she did a great one for May the 4th. She brought out her lightsaber and
Yep.
Did the commentary on May the 4th. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of acting there with him being that stressed out because of his does not like tight places.
No, I would imagine not. Aged Boomer, are you going to watch Sharknado? I have not seen the Sharknado movie. I'm not planning to.
I will tell you now, Sharknadoes are good, dumb fun. They do exactly what they're meant to do. And that is why I could never give like the first Sharknado a bad review because it meant to do exactly what it did.
Yeah.
So it fulfilled what it wanted to do. And I can't really say anything against that.
Evelyn Hampton, who's in the stream supporting us, she's a huge fan of Sharknado, and those of us in the area that are Klingons that serve with her like to pick on her a little bit about that.
Yeah. It's a great film, but no, when she's on, which I think is the 23rd, it is it's like I said, it's Twister.
Yep, 23rd it's Twister, yeah.
One of my favorite films. I've realized a lot of films that I find highly enjoyable repeat viewing have oh god, no, can't think of his name. The guy who's the lead in Twister.
Oh shoot.
I know he plays Billy.
Yeah, he's the one that was in Aliens.
Yeah, he's in Aliens. He passed away. So tragically. Somebody help me. Can't think of his name.
He's also in that show Big Love.
Yeah, I never saw that. He was in the original Terminator, Get Killed. Really,
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, thank you. But I find like there are 3 films that I have high rewatchability for me: Twister, Tombstone, and Apollo 13.
Yeah,
he's in all 3. I haven't watched Tombstone in a while. I might have to crank that on one night.
So, Mr. Matchstick, when you get ready to do your anime rewatch of Akira, make sure you let us know when that's going to be. I want to check that out.
Yeah, what year was Akira made? Make sure I download the right version if I find it.
Yeah, with these anime, there's always the different versions too.
I know, and it drives me insane. 1988. Predator 2. That's another good one. We're gonna have to do.
Sound Engraver said that I got to blame you all. I'm spending my artistic time watching Clone Wars Season 7 and Charade. Thanks, guys. Hey, anytime, Sound Engraver. Are you going to be done with Season 7 before office hours? We're probably going to be talking a little bit about it. And Mr. Matchstick said the Akira version he's talking about is the 88.
Yeah, I saw that.
Don't look at me. Look at the road.
That's how accidents happen.
Right. He's like, oh, I know how to fire those.
Which is why he's letting you get out of the truck.
Yep.
The guy's not a killer.
Yep.
On purpose. He kills to defend himself. Forget Auditor Dredd. Bill Paxton was a national treasure. Yes, he was. He was a great actor, and I really enjoyed him and his films. Forgive me if this was asked. John Matrix versus John Rambo. Whew. That'd be a hell of a fight,
right?
I think. Oh God, I don't know. We know more about Rambo. We don't know as much about Matrix.
True. Mr. Matchstick said that he's going to go with the first dub, and he was hoping to fit it into our schedule, probably for next month. Okay, so you're asking to do it in the Saturday stream. Okay, Al and I can talk about that.
Everybody's wanting to jump in on our territory.
Hey, I think it's great. I think it builds anything to build the community. I want to see Sound Engraver get more followers. I want to see Katie get more followers. And if we're gonna get Mr. Matchstick going on his own channel, so much the better.
Yeah, but dude, we need followers too, and we need content to make it.
Well, I understand that, but that's how that. They'll end up getting followers, and then they'll send them over to us, and we all build that way. Orville Nation taught me that. Actually, Professor taught me that too.
No, I like the idea of a thing, but I think
Ooh.
I might have to start doing matinees more.
I would love that. I would love to see more Big Al Presents matinees.
I saw a great film on Amazon starring Ron Jeremy, if anybody knows who he is, and it's called The One-Eyed Monster.
Is it one of those what's it called, like biopic type films or something like that?
No, he plays himself, who gets hit by a light from outer space.
Okay,
and during a scene, he goes into convulsions, and something detaches itself and starts attacking people.
Oh my gosh!
Hence
so it's kind of a comedy.
Oh, it's very much a comedy. Very, very much. But it's pretty fun. I haven't finished watching it because I started watching it late. I wasn't able to finish it, so I got to go back and finish it. Sound Engraver saying she's totally fine doing it once in a while. No, it's fine. I just enjoy being a part of the community myself, because this is how I interact. Even before this whole coronavirus thing, this is my socialization. This office hours, My own little afternoons with Al, the book study. When I'm on with the fan man, it's me being able to not feel so isolated,
Yeah.
which I have been for
A long
years.
time. Yeah.
Years. Literally in the last 5 years, I have been to the doctor. And that's it.
Yeah.
I haven't been anywhere else.
Yeah. Melissa Harris, we're not going to be doing any rewatches of any other Ron Jeremy films. No.
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 This one, like I said, this one was funny. Yes, it's adult in nature, but it's completely done as a joke. And they haven't shown it yet. They keep alluding to it, and you see it like going through the snow. Like, like a mole would go through the ground. It's pretty funny.
Oh gosh. Would you say it actually drills through the ground?
Well, it drills all right. And I guarantee he still does not believe he did anything wrong. I mean, he knows it backfired big time.
Yeah.
But I think he still thinks he was in the right to do what he did when that guy came into town.
And as there's more and more damage being done to the town, it's like we're talking diminishing returns here. Do you really want to destroy the whole town and keep risking lives over this pissing contest? Tried to tell you. Yeah, I suspected. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he knows that guy. He's not that easy to kill. Hey, look, a Christmas tree.
I get your point where that isn't necessarily enough to make it a Christmas movie, because especially when you have places that are cold for many months out of the year and people don't tend to take down their decorations when they should. This could be in March. Come from military training because it's necessary. And you live under the blessings of that. You ungrateful bastard.
But yeah, one time we have to sit down and figure out all the films we haven't watched yet. All the series we need to finish. Like Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, with one movie left. Not two, but one.
Right, exactly.
Gotta start doing Star Trek films.
Darn right, because we're doing it. We don't need the professor's permission.
Nope. Addicts always creep me out, man.
Aged Boomer is suggesting another Stallone movie, Cobra.
That sucks.
The other one that every time now I watch a Rambo movie, I think of the movie Tango and Cash.
That's a good film.
I love that one because there's that scene where he stops a truck and I don't remember what it was he does. He shoots shoots out the window or something and stops the truck. Who does this guy think he is? Rambo? And he
Yeah.
says, Rambo's a pussy.
I love the little end jokes that
Yeah.
a lot of the stars will have, like in Twins. Remember Twins?
Yeah.
When Arnold's character comes to America and he walks by the Rambo sign and he looks at and he like looks at his own muscles and he kind of like
Yeah, right. Um Well, Wolf 10 Media, we did do the first Back to the Future film already.
Mhm. Yeah, we need to do number 2.
Yep. And
And then number
Mr.
3,
Matchstick, no, we have not done Dread.
Dread. I'll watch it if we decide to, but
I would really rather do
oh no! I love Dread. I don't like Judge Dredd.
right.
Stallone's version is not a favorite.
I would
Carl Urban's version is fantastic.
I would really rather do Demolition Man. That's one we really should do.
Yeah, that's a good, especially now since they're talking sequel.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe we should wait until we get closer to the release date for the new one, huh?
Well, it could be a while now because they're not filming anything yet.
Oh yeah, Auditor Dread. Yeah, I was just getting to that. Yeah, it's definitely got to happen.
I mean, Stallone. There's a lot of great Stallone stuff. I mean, the original Rocky would be cool to watch. For it's just dramatic. Although 2 and 3, three's the more eye popping MTV version. Whereas the first Rocky is much more a performance piece.
Oh man, that's gonna wow.
That's a great diversion.
Oh, it sure is.
But we haven't done a Western since Tombstone. I have to find a Western to do.
Well, you could always do a 2-for-1 when we get to Back to the Future 3.
That's true. Like I said, one day I think, well, it would probably be better for me as a matinee, but A Million Ways to Die in the West with Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, but I think before we get to that one, we should do the one
that
Mr. Matchstick just recommended, Blazing Saddles.
Oh, classic.
Right?
Yes. Mel Brooks. Mongo.
Mongo like candy.
Need a young Frankenstein too. And Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh yeah, we just gotta get those Mel Brooks films in there,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because we're men. Manly men. We're men in tights.
I'm assuming Auditor Dread, you mean the original Cliffhanger and not the remake.
Expendables. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there. I've actually never seen all of Cliffhanger. I know I've seen the beginning and I've seen the end, but I don't really know the middle.
I haven't seen it since it was out in theaters.
I know some that I want to do soon. I want to do Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Because I want to get Nanette heading up on that one.
Yep.
I got a big love for the 80s films. Goonies. There's a Kickstarter to back an 80s documentary. All the great action sci-fi stuff from the 80s. You were outmatched, my friend.
Again, I could have killed you.
Yep. He wants to so bad.
I kind of can't blame him.
Well, Santa Claus on the thing. This is as much a Christmas film as Die Hard.
No. There's a lot of things missing
having
from
fun.
this.
Having fun.
He didn't come to town to celebrate Christmas with his ex-wife or with his wife or whatever.
Of course, here's what I would say. If anybody doesn't know the original book, Rambo dies at the end of the book.
Yeah.
There should have never been Rambo 2.
Right. They actually filmed the original ending. Just didn't go over well with test audience. Yeah, Auditor Dread. They did a gender bend. when they redid Cliffhanger.
I love this
Yeah.
scene with his. I think he does such a great job with this.
Yep.
He's too damaged to be in the regular army. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
He's psychologically unfit. At least this version of Rambo.
Yeah. Man.
Mm-hmm. It's heartbreaking.
It is.
How he was able to get that emotional in it. Because he is tapping a real raw emotion.
God.
It's like I can't get it out of my head. It's in there. And it's
Man.
Yep, well, 10 Media. It's a great monologue. Great monologue. But that's you got it. And Stallone to me proves he does have acting chops out of something like that.
Yeah, he really doesn't get enough credit, especially even if you look at the first Rocky film too.
Yeah, yeah. He said, like I said, sadly he kind of became a parody of the characters that he played,
Yeah,
but he's done some great work.
he really has. Man.
Road.
Yep. Man. That's one intense drama.
Yeah, First Blood is a great film. And did it need a sequel? I don't think so. But I will give it credit. Rambo 2 is an awesome film.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people who are good about the other ones. Now, I haven't seen any of them past two. I know the concepts of them,
Yep.
which, it just seems to be the same stuff. I do love the concept for Rambo 2, though. They because of his special skills, they set him in on a
find
bogus.
work for him. Yeah.
Yeah, they set him in to find nothing, and he comes back with
That movie was what really turned me on to the POW MIA.
Westmore.
Oh yeah.
Yep. The Star Trek connection.
Yep.
And that is First Blood, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching that again. That is, like I said, a film like this I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
You don't really see it come on a lot. I mean, it pops up every once in a while.
Yeah.
But definitely has some great performances, great action, and a great story. I mean, just the theme behind it, the motivation of the characters.
Yep. Wolf Ted Media. I'd actually forgotten he was in Spy Kids 3D.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Stallone's one of those like weird guys now. I will say I remember going to see Cobra. I know people mentioned it in the stream. And I remember seeing I remember like having the weird lines like, the disease, the cure. It's just like it was just so over the top, testosterone driven.
Marion Cobretti.
Oh yeah, Cobretti. And then he goes home, gets a pizza out of the fridge, and uses a big knife to just cut off a little piece of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's some badass thing. I just thought it was, just so over the top. It was really funny. But I will say, I've only seen Cobra the one time, and I saw it in its original release.
Yeah.
And of course, with his, at the time, paramour, Brigitte Nielsen.
Brigitte Nielsen, right?
Yeah, who made a play for Arnold during Red Sonja, but he kind of he thought she was a bit of a nutcase, and he aimed her at Stallone. And that's how she ended up in Rocky 3 and Cobra and stuff like that.
She kind of was a bit of a nutcase.
Yeah, of course, but young actresses.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a certain amount of crazy is good if you keep it under taps.
Yeah.
But I like it. Let's see what people are saying here. Like I said, hope you enjoyed it. I really did. Always love this. We'll have to do Rambo 2 one day. No time soon, but one day. The Species trilogy. Oh, I remember those. I remember the first one. The second and third one, not so much. But that first one is really good. And of course, Natasha Henstridge.
Oh yeah.
Yabba dabba doo. and speaking of Hot Shots Part 2, great parody of the Rambo First Blood Part 2. Yeah, the Hot Shot movies are good. Lloyd Bridges, those films are worth it alone just to see Lloyd Bridges' performances. Have you ever seen the Hot Shot movies?
I think I've seen all of them. Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's only two, I believe. With Charlie Sheen, I think, but I think there's just the two. Hot Shots and then Hot Shots Part 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, there. Melissa Harris do Airplane. We did Airplane.
We did do Airplane. That's right.
Yes. In fact, Airplane was done by. I think. Were you there?
I think I missed. I couldn't make it, so
I think it was Mara Jade was with.
Yeah,
me.
you and Mara Jade did that.
Yeah,
one,
so it was me and Mara Jade. And if you're out there listening, Mara Jade, hope you're doing well. Haven't heard from her in a while. That was short. Yeah, hour and a half. It's a nice short movie. Gives us a chance to talk. I owed you a short one since, of course, I did Ben-Hur.
Right.
That one time, and I'll do a few short ones. I'm going to pull out a few. Okay. Let me state this correctly. I'm going to pull out films that are longer in length. See, I almost said, I was going to pull out longer ones later, but which would have sounded really bad. Oh, I guess I just didn't say it, didn't I? But because one of these days I want to do Gone with the Wind.
I was just thinking Gone with the Wind. Yeah,
Gone with the Wind. I've thought about Ten Commandments. Maybe Ten Commandments. I'll do again next year. Maybe I'll try to beat ABC to it, but or if I get a lot of people wanting it. There's a lot on the list that I want to get. I finally got Grizzly. I think Grizzly is like one of those good films I could do on a Saturday afternoon as a matinee. Something that
would be a good one as a matinee.
Yeah, just one of the weird Jaws knockoffs that came about, but it was on land. In fact, scared me a little bit more than Jaws because it was on land.
Right.
And I kept looking. I remember that. I still remember laying in my bed looking at the window just above my head thinking, there's going to be a big bear claw that's going to come through that window and kill me. I knew it. And this was, I was 11. So I, had heightened anxiety a little bit at that point.
I remember we went camping. I was with the Scouts, and real early in the morning, I got up to go to the bathroom at the same time that Paul Vanderplow, who was in the tent across from me, was getting up to go to the bathroom. He goes down by the river to take a leak, and he surprised a bear that was there getting a drink. And I swear to you, from the top of that hill, it was the most hysterical thing I ever saw, because he gets down there, he starts to do his business, realizes what's going on, and he goes, the bear, roar! And they both go running in opposite directions. I swear it was the most hysterical thing I've ever seen.
And don't they tell you not to run away from a bear?
Yes.
Because that
means
they'll just chase you.
But
You're supposed to literally lay down and play dead.
The bear got scared. He got scared, and they both took off in opposite directions from each other. And I laughed so hard.
Wolf Ted Media saying he would doom the human race for Natasha Henstridge.
Okay.
Ask me how is Mara. I don't know. I haven't heard from her in a long time. Last I heard, she was engaged. I bet she announced it on the chat, so I'm fine with saying that. Last time I heard from her, she had gotten engaged, and haven't really heard from her since.
Okay, so Sound Engraver makes an excellent point. She says that she's going to be in a hotel next Saturday in case she has no internet, which she should. But if she doesn't, do we have a backup rewatch? I'm sure we can come up with something.
Well, we can always come up with something.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I mean, if it's a hotel worth its salt, it should have rewatch. Rewatch should have Wi-Fi of some sort.
Yep.
Somewhere there's got to be a Wi-Fi that is accessible uh, to people. Big ups, say Warhammer. Whoop, I clicked something and then it popped up. I was going to look at some of the more recent films I had loaded up. Warhammer, they have a planet where the entire human population is basically Rambo.
That's pretty awesome.
Agent Boomer, do we have any plans for watching James Bond movies?
Wow, hadn't even thought about that.
I hadn't either. I like Bond, but he's never been high in my psyche.
Yeah.
So I never really think about it. We may have to do like a Dr. No or something like that one day.
The hard thing about James Bond, I like James Bond. It's one of those things where I like it separately from the source material. I love the source material. I do like James Bond films, but the two do not go very well hand in hand.
Let me see here. A comment was about Species. Yeah, I know what it was about. Not on Twitter. If I'm on Twitter, we'll do it. I'll set the schedule so you know. Cool deal. Yep, just send the link.
Yep, just keep.
We shall be there to watch Charade.
Keep us
I've never seen.
Absolutely.
I've never seen, so it'll be a nice fresh reaction for me. But I generally like, you guys know, I generally like most things to some degree, mostly, unless it's really god awful. There have been a few. Like I said, Captain Marvel, my reaction to Captain Marvel saved my relationship with Professor Geek. He was so concerned. Melissa Harris is bringing up Machete, a bloody
never seen it
spinoff of Spy Kids. Well, I know Stanley Trejo, who is a true badass.
Yeah,
in every sense of the word. I like Danny Trejo. Yeah, maybe find like there are a lot of things that we haven't done. Like we haven't done a Tarantino film. We haven't done any of the spaghetti westerns.
We kind of did a quarter of a Tarantino film when we did 4 Rooms.
But
I know what you mean, though. You're right.
Yeah, full Quentin. I haven't done spaghetti western with Eastwood. Actually, we haven't done anything with Eastwood. Gonna have to pull a film of his out of the hat one day. So I wonder what would you think would be a great Eastwood film to pull off first? I know what I would say.
I think if we were going to do, if you're asking my opinion on what Clint Eastwood film, it's got to be my favorite Clint Eastwood film, and that would be Heartbreak Ridge.
Heartbreak Ridge. Oh, yeah. You know what? Didn't even think of it.
You were thinking Western, right?
My head went straight to the Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah, I can see that too.
One of my faves. One of the Dirty Harry films. Every Which Way But Loose. Also a good film.
Gosh,
if you like orangutans.
That's another one I haven't seen since it was in the theaters.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of great ones. I know Goonies is on my short list. So yeah, there's a lot out there we'll watch eventually. We'll have to like put James Bond in the old queue to kind of think about. I don't know if we should start out with like somewhere in the middle or just go with like the first one, Dr. No, which I've never seen.
You've never seen Dr. No, huh?
I've not seen Dr. No, and I haven't seen Thunderball. So I haven't seen a lot of the early ones.
Yeah.
I grew up when I first started seeing Bond, it was Roger Moore. It's kind of like who is your now I will admit Connery's better. Connery is Bond, but I will always have a special place for Roger Moore because that's the one that introduced me to the character. I kind of liked the British dapper aspect that he brought
Yeah.
that to it, where beyond the tough rugged guy, he was like the dapper guy. And then everybody has a little bit of a different way about like the new guy. Help me, the latest one. He's he reminds me more of Connery, I think, in his style.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I lost you for a little while there. I think my internet
I'm
cut out
sorry.
on me briefly. No, I don't think it was
Oh,
you. I think it was me this time. But um yeah, what I was going to say is, for me, James Bond, and I don't know, I'm not sure I would say he's my favorite James Bond, but my favorite James Bond film is the George Lazenby On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
yeah, a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do consider that one the best.
And and once Casino Royale came out, it kind of became a toss up. Both of them have a very similar theme there that very much humanizes Bond and gives you that whole, what he's all about, and makes him very, very sympathetic, why he is the way he is and whatnot. I really like that.
Yeah, it'll be yeah, like I said, there are a lot of them out there. I'm not gonna stay on too much. Daniel Craig, thank you. Like I said, it's midnight on a Saturday. I'm hurting, and I could feel I just,
Yeah, I understand.
It's been a long day.
You
And
soldiered through it tonight.
I did. I made it. Kind of. If I don't move, don't move too much, I'm all right. But or breathe in really, really heavy.
Yeah. So let's see. What do we got? We got Sound Engraver. Are you doing anything on Monday that we should be hyping for you? Let me know in the chat there. Tuesday, of course.
Tuesday, office hours.
Office hours on Professor's channel.
10:00. Thursday, the next chapters of The Last Command. Of the last book of the Thrawn trilogy. I gotta watch. I gotta read those. Start reading them tomorrow. The
Friday, who knows?
Friday, don't know. Hope so, but don't know.
Keep your fingers crossed. Maybe the fan man will have something going on. And then that brings us back to Saturday over on Sound Engraver's channel for Charade.
Charade.
If not, just keep an eye out. We'll pick it up and run with it.
Keep an eye on Twitter. If something happens, we will let you know.
Okay, so yes, Monday, Sound Engraver is going to be talking about the death of Melody, which she had just shared someone else's video about that. Great topic.
Who killed Melody? She was such a nice girl.
Yeah, right. And it's so true. I remember, what was it? Wasn't it I think it was Blues Brothers where Elwood says something about pre-programmed electronic disco music. Nanette brings that up all the time, but that's pretty much where I started my whole tirade about the death of melody in modern pop music.
I need to address Wolf 10 Media. I will simply say I saw it. If you want to read his comment there about a certain artist.
Scott Blair did the
artist who does the
oh gosh yeah.
He did Leah Thompson and
okay
the Wasp, the character of the Wasp from the film.
Okay, well, Lorraine McFly, that might be worth checking out maybe.
Yeah, it was kind of cute.
I get that.
I enjoyed it. Man, my voice is starting to go. I want to wish you anything last minute?
Nope, I think that pretty much covers it.
Okay, I wish everybody a happy Sunday, which it just turned here on the East Coast. I think everybody else has a little bit left Saturday night, but it just turned Sunday here. I hope you all are staying safe, stay healthy, and just try to enjoy as much as you can with the situation you're in. Take care, everyone, and God bless.